Okay, I am gonna try this again. I don't know why there's a halo around me. Very strange. Okay, let's take a look at some of these things. First off, I neglected. I am a really bad YouTuber. I neglected to say that the idea for these nesting bowls came from Jeff at A Potter's Journal. And he had a video out, and I saw in the background a set of nesting bowls that looked like a flower. And I was like, oh, that is so cool. So I decided I was going to make a set that looked like a flower. I had wanted these to be a little bit different in height, like a little bit graduated heights taller. They worked out okay, but by the time I finished trimming the foot, especially on the little one, they nest a little bit too deep and don't from the side look as much like a flower. From the top, they definitely do. The glazing idea, and let's see if you can get some of that detail in there. I think the light is better here. So the glazing idea came mostly from a Happy Homestead. Check out her YouTube channel. Um, Also, I went to Mako's channel and so forth, but I don't use commercial glazes typically. Um, I'll use some of the underglazes, but I typically only mix my own glazes because it gives me a little more flexibility and it's a little bit less expensive. But take a look at some of that variation on there. These I am so happy with. What you see, the kind of brownish pink on the rim is Ingleside pink. The green is John Britt's Seafoam. The blue is a midnight blue. The red is Stroke and Coat. And then I used Mako's Light Flux. And over top of everything, and that kind of beigey color that you see in the bottom is Butterscotch Opal. I got all the glaze recipes off of glazy.org. It is a cool website for people that mix their own glazes. And so check it out. This one is Speedball's saffron and saffron yellow, and then a flame orange velvet underglaze. Outside is butterscotch opal. The clay on this is standard 266 dark brown. This one is Laguna Frost porcelain. So most of these are going to be Laguna Frost, although there is some with a standard 266. This one is standard 266. You can see it's a little bit more yellow than the Frost. Midnight blue and Mako's Light Flux on that. This one is, I'm pretty sure it was Laguna Frost. And it was Mason Stain Vivid Blue. This was the dogwood was painted with standard 266 slip, I believe. The glaze is a combination of floating blue. I went over it for the refire with some midnight blue, and then Laguna's Light Frost, or Mako's Light Flux. And it also had some, I want to say that it had some Lynette's Opal on it, and I didn't like the way they mingled, or more precisely, I didn't like the way they didn't mingle. So, little birdie, and I should have put water in him, but he is colored with the Color for Earth color concentrates. And then I used Kitten's Clear over top of him. He's got a little heart on his tail, her tail, my name on the bottom. And all of my pots afterwards, I sand them down with diamond sanding pads. So here's the one I've been waiting for. A little disappointed in this, but also excited because some things worked. And let's see if you can get some of that detail in there. Obviously, down in here, it didn't work. I put the glaze on too thick. I knew I put the glaze on too thick. I was lazy and didn't scrape it off. I thought I had scraped enough off, but I did not. So we got some bubbling going on down there. But the effect of this is pretty cool. So I will do this again and do a better job of the glaze. And it does show the chattering that I did on the bottom. I've started doing a little bit of chattering in the middle on the bottom. I think that's kind of cool, and I signed it right there. Can you see? But we have some ugly crawling on that. I'm debating whether to refire this or just call it a loss. You know, if I have to just use it, oh well. But it was an experiment in a number of ways, trying different things on the rim. The rim was kind of inspired by Mary Fox. She does a lot of altered rims on her pottery. So I was trying something different. And let's see what else we have here. Set that where it won't break. This guy I'm happy with. So this is my first attempt at relief carving on the tulips, which turned out pretty good. Anne Rule, Little Street Pottery, kind of gave me the inspiration for this and the confidence to do it. Oh, poo on the trains. All right. Did get a little bit inside where the glaze is a little bit thick, and we there's a little bit of bubbling going on in there, but it's sealed over, so I don't think it'll affect anything. And I like decorating my bottoms, so yeah, I'm happy with that. This was my first cutwork piece and my first double-walled pot. So sorry about the trains. These, get them out. This is some Narracomi. Let me mute. Finally, the train is gone. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, poppies. I don't know why this turned. I guess I did. This was dyed with a yellow mason stain. That's what. So this was stained with the yellow mason stain, and then I painted the poppies on there. And bottom is unglazed, but it does have the color on it. All right. And Jeff, I don't know if you're watching, but thank you for the wow traffic. Thank you for the idea for the nesting bowls that look like flowers. Okay, this guy still didn't lose his blisters, and I'm losing some of the detail on the orchids, but I may take a Dremel, sand it down some, may refire, may not. I may just sand all of these areas down and leave them matte. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So floating blue on here and on here. Had I thought about it, I would have done midnight. That's what I intended to do because it would have matched this. This guy turned out much better, although he has the bubbling inside, so that's not better. But this was one of my fancy handles mugs. Has little scrolly scrolls. Big Modecker. This probably is going to hold about 30, 32 ounces. This swirly was from, let's see, I've seen Matthew Kelly Pottery do it. I've seen John the Potter do it. I've seen Tiffany Helmer, Hobble Creek Pottery do it. And so, of course, I had to try it. I think I've also seen Donte, Earth Nation Ceramics do it. So Glaze turned out much better, though. Still a couple little thin spots, but won't do another refire on that. And more floating blue. This one has slip trailing. Turned out better, won't refire. Added a little bit of flux and some hot tamale stroking coats. So it's got a little bit of red detail going on. This was thin before, and I didn't like the way that the two glazes overlapped. They didn't interplay very well. So, but it's better now. Got a little more interest. Slip trailing my name on the bottom. And I try to put my name on the bottom so that when somebody right-handed, because most of the world is right-handed, but when somebody right-handed drinks from the mug, my name is right side up when the bottom is facing them. So that's just my logic. And I try to put designs on the pieces so that both the people looking and the people using can enjoy the designs. And the last piece to look at today is this little candy skull death whistle. And I'm going to have to take a pair of pliers because the glaze stuck. I should have cleaned the glaze out right in there, and I did not. My fault entirely. And I may have to take a Dremel to get that loose. But there we go. He turned out pretty cool, I think. And I think he still whistles. When he kind of sounds like a death whistle, I think, anyway. So that's the more detailed version. Stars of the show today. Star failure was this guy. And star winners, the vanilla bean mug is a definite winner. But I think my favorite out of the whole load is these nesting bowls. Like I said, Jeff, a Potter's Journal, gave me the inspiration for this. And Happy Homesteader gave me the inspiration on the glaze and the kind of tutorial-ish on the glaze. So didn't turn out exactly as I had wanted them to. There was chattering on the outside. It wasn't real deep though. But I think overall they're really pretty. I would have never done this if it hadn't been for watching those 2 YouTube channels. So thanks, guys. Hope I didn't bore you too much with this, but I wanted to give you a better look here. Sorry about the train and the trucks and all of that stuff, but keep chasing your dreams, keep challenging yourself, and stay centered. I'll see you next time.